What's happening, everyone? Back again with the EG. I think I've got some pretty exciting news. Don't let the sun fool you. It might be sunny, still bloody freezing. Yeah, I think I've changed my mind on the order in which I want to do things with the EG today. So, originally the plan was to get this thing, everything sorted, get it away for paint, get the bay done, get the arches done, get whatever I wanted to be resprayed, and then get the engine in. But how it's working out, it just seems like that's a bit too long to wait to actually get the engine into this thing. So what I'm planning on doing now is I'm actually going to get the bay painted first. So today we're going to prep the bay, get rid of what doesn't need to be there, make the guy's job a wee bit easier, and then we will get it away for paint pretty soon. So we'll get the bay painted. Once the bay's painted, then we'll get the engine into it. I think that'll make things easier, make things more interesting as well. Plus I can't wait to get the engine into it. I'm just waiting way too long. I've ordered a bunch of parts from Tegiwa, still waiting on them getting here, and then once they're all here, hopefully by then the bay will be painted and we'll be ready to get the engine into this lovely little EG. The reason why I've decided to do things in this way, so that when the engine's in there, at least that way when the car does go to the body shop, it'll be easier for them to move it around if they need to. It might not be able to just stay in one place for ages, so because of that, at least having the engine in there, they'll be able to move it around. It just makes things more convenient for them, and it makes things more exciting for me, and hopefully more exciting for you. So that's the plan for today. We'll get this engine bay cleaned up. Got a few things to do later on as well, so you can come along with me for that, and then maybe later on I'll be able to show you guys the engine that's going into it. Let's get started. So, ran into a few issues. Brake lines don't want to come out, so I don't want to risk messing up the hoses, so I'm just going to leave that there for now. If need be, we'll come back to that at a later time, but now that I've got pretty much the majority of stuff out of the way, I'm going to just try and give it a quick clean down and see how it looks. So that's actually working pretty well. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to put on a bit of a faster hyperlapse because I'm going to be at this for a little while. But that's working really well, I'm really impressed with that. Apologies for that, phone died, so it stopped recording kind of halfway through. I'm really impressed with what that steamer's been able to do. The bay's actually looking pretty good. It's obviously not perfect, it's got a lot of issues, rust coming through in certain places, paint flaking in other places, and just from like old stickers and just a bit more stubborn grease. But have a look. Now I think this actually looks not bad compared to what it was beforehand. So the reason I wanted to do this, I wanted to see what it was like underneath all that rubbish, see how bad it actually was. Also just to make it a little bit easier for when it does go away for paint. But just like, look at that, no more grime built up in like these areas, especially like back there. That's it's obviously it's still there, but it's impressive what that steamer's been able to do. So I'm quite happy with this. So what I'll do now is I'll get in touch with and we'll see when you can book it in. We'll get this bay repainted. Once the bay's repainted, we'll put the engine in. If you are going to be doing something like this yourself, best way that I do it is I take some pictures of beforehand, so I know where all the brackets go, I know what goes where. That way when I come to putting everything back together, nice and easy, because I've already got like a plan, a layout of how it used to be. If you don't do that, like what I done last time, you put yourself in for a whole lot of trouble because you just confuse yourself, got no idea where anything goes, and yeah, you need to ask for help. But yeah, so if you're going to do this yourself, take some before pictures, and that way it's like a fail-safe. Right, plan is now, need to go and pick up my dad's car from the garage because it's fixed and he's been using my S500. So going to pick up dad's car, drop that off, have a look at the engine and pick up the S500. So see you guys in a bit. Right, dad's car's dropped off, S500, finally jumping back in this. Bloody love this car. It's a quiet night tonight, but anyway, this is the main thing that I've wanted to show you guys for ages. So here it is. So this B18C out of an Integra Type R, for those of you that know what you're looking at, Skunk 2 Ultra intake manifold. Now this thing is insane. So you've got high compression pistons in here, full Skunk 2 valve train, cams, springs, retainers, AEM adjustable cam gears. So yeah, the Skunk 2 Ultra intake manifold. Now this throttle body, don't know if you can see, it is massive. So I think the biggest one that you can get for these is usually like a 70mm, and that's Skunk 2. This is actually a 90mm throttle body off of a Mustang. So it's pretty nuts. I think I've spoken about the gearbox before. It's actually an S4C. So it's an S4C out of I think it's an EK4 SIR. It's got a Cusco plated LSD in it and an ATS Japan short ratio straight cut gear set. So it's pretty nuts. and I cannot wait to get this in the car. This is part of the reason why I've been so eager to get the engine in there. So I want to get the bay done. I want to get this engine in it, and I just want to start it. I just want to hear it because it's going to be nuts with those high compression pistons. Got a few other cool parts. I can show you all. Have a look at this. This thing's pretty cool. So this here, pop it down. Jay's Racing back box, dolphin tip, and we've got, I think this is a Toda Rep manifold. It's actually a really high quality rep. No flat spots or that on it. 2.5 inch collector, and then a full 2.5 inch straight through system. I don't know how I'm going to feel about the full straight through system. Hondas notoriously sound horrible with no silencers. Some people like it, but for me, I just think it's just a bit too much. So I'll probably end up putting a silencer in this, but it's gonna be pretty crazy regardless. Like on the last time I built it, I had a B18C, but I had a Mugen twin loop system. So I actually had a full Mugen system, Mugen manifold, and then the twin loop cat. It wasn't actually a catback system. There was no space for a cat, so it was pretty. It sounded really good. It was quiet, but when you wanted it to be, when you stepped on it, it made a beautiful sound.
Nej, det skulle ha fått.
So I kind of want this to be slightly similar. It's obviously not going to be 100% the same, but I don't want it to be ridiculous. Other than that, just some shafts, drive shafts, engine loom, and stuff like that. This place is an absolute state because every time I decide to clean this out, my parents or my brother decide to see that as extra storage space. So we end up with filing cabinets, old furniture, tires which are punctured, but for some reason they just decide to live in this garage. It becomes a mess. I've got a shop fridge in here. What is that doing here? Absolute madness. But yeah, that's shop owners for you. Anyway, this engine is the daddy, and I cannot wait to get this into the car. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be an absolute weapon. It's going to destroy the track. I cannot wait. But anyways, thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. Peace out. We'll see you on the next one.